Creams and flops, welcome back for episode 12. Yes, Lord. I missed y'all last week, but only because I was in my little goblin cave playing this week's game. I got a long way to go before I start getting early review codes for games, so I hope y'all do understand that there will be delays with content sometimes. This week, I'm giving my partial review of Horizon Forbidden West, the long anticipated sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, here's the part where I warn y'all about spoilers. I promise I won't give away spoilers, but if your definition of a spoiler is finding out you fight a robot dinosaur or that you're searching for artificial intelligence in a sequel to a game about fighting robot dinosaurs and searching for AI that save the world, then just go ahead and throw your phone out in the lake and don't consume any media until you buy the game and play it yourself. So I'm going to try and keep this review pretty brief because if I gave all the details, this would easily be a 1 hour episode before I got to the news and memory of the week. Oh Lord. So this game is massive. It's huge. And really it's best experience firsthand. So strap in, let's do it. With that out the way, I'm gonna give a quick rundown of Horizon Zero Dawn to where we are now in the Forbidden West. I done had a few beers, excuse me. So, for y'all that don't know, in Zero Dawn, you start the game playing as a little girl named Aloy. Aloy is an outcast for reasons I won't say, but Aloy is one of them talented and gifted babies. The people in this game are what we would call primitive by today's standards, but the game is set in the future. What do they say? Post-apocalyptic future. So keep that in mind. It's a big time skip. Then now Aloy is a young lady, and she's on a journey to understand where these beast machines that are in this world came from and why some of them are corrupted now. So during her journey, she figures out that these primitive tribes and clans that exist in this future timeline are really descendants of millennials. AOC and James Cameron pretty much were right. Global warming and Terminator pretty much happens in 2066. But the artificial intelligence that they created happened to start life again, but with machines kind of leading the way. The game is set in the western United States, so kind of around Utah, Colorado area. And there's, remnants of things and buildings that we would recognize today. But to them, it's just, relics of the past. So yada yada yada, typical hero stuff happens, and now Aloy saves the world, or so she thinks. So here we are now, starting Forbidden West, and Aloy is the savior. She's like Naruto, went from an outcast to Hokage. Very typical hero story. However, she's more like Kendrick Lamar because she doesn't seek to be famous, but she just wants to put in the work and drop bangers when she does make some noise. So this time, the world she thought that was good is now going into self-destruct overdrive. It's just chaos. And she's the one, pretty much the only one that can figure out how to stop it from happening and actually make it stop. So after a 2-hour intro, you start your journey into the Forbidden West. Essentially, she's pulling a Forrest Gump and huffing it to the coast of California, where people either don't venture out there due to just the danger, or just the few people that are out there, they're pretty much up to no good and pretty hostile. So Aloy's journey out west is filled with her bringing clans that, they've had forever beef. They just been beefing for the longest. And she brings those clans together to stop the world from ending. And people also kind of just use her to kill big machines for their own profit. Just just some straight up users in this game. I peeped that. At this point, where I am in the game, I've hunted down a couple of AI that's crucial to rebuilding the world, and then stopping the ecosystem from collapsing and getting into middle of some beef with some clans because I'm trying to bring them together. So here I am being a hero. But I say this, I'm 20 hours deep into this game, and I'm not even halfway done, y'all. 20 whole hours, and it's just now really starting to get into the good stuff. So I don't say that to say that it's a bad thing, that it's too big or too long. I'm in over my head because I'm trying to be some content creator and make reviews and play everything that come out. It's a lot. But I do love that I'm getting so much entertainment value for my little 70 bones that I spent. And I think most other people will too. That's pretty much all I can say about the story. In 20 hours, there's obviously much more I can say about the game, but spoilers. But what I can tell y'all about in a little more detail is how the game plays and its mechanics. So Zero Dawn was a very fun game in terms of combat. However, Forbidden West seems to have upped the ante, and sometimes it gets frustrating to me trying to use all the tools and abilities available. You only fight two types of enemies in the game, really. So you got machines or you humans. Humans, pretty much straightforward. You just beat the hell out of them with a spear. You can sneak around, stab them in the back, chunk them, bust their head on a rock, or just shoot them, from a distance with arrows. Quick headshots with a bow and arrow. Now the machines, on the other hand, that's where the bread gets buttered in the Horizon series. There's so many types of animal, dinosaur, beast machines to fight, and there's still a bunch left for me to find. And just compared to Zero Dawn, Forbidden West, man, they got a whole variety, and I love that. And so when you fight one of these machines, you're supposed to use a scanning tool called the Focus to discover the weak points, parts that are indestructible, parts that you need to shoot off before killing the machines in order to use those parts as a resource. So you can use those resources to craft stuff, craft armor or weapons, or just sell for some currency. They got what they call metal shards. They don't got no pennies, but you get the picture. So here's where the game really shines bright, because all the enemies have levels. This is somewhat of an RPG. So you do have higher level enemies, and you yourself have a level. And the higher level they are, of course, the tougher they are to kill. So you got to earn experience points and get your level up to be able to take on these machines and other humans that are at a higher level. So some of the machines, though, are more aggressive, and some of them are kitted with weapons of mass destruction, and you need to use specific weapons against them to get what you want. So in terms of parts that you want for resources, or just to straight up just kill them and get them out the way. So I'm going to give y'all a scenario real quick. You come up to a machine just minding its business, and you need some money to buy a fresh new fit. And you got the money, but you need one specific part to make that fit just pop. So you use your focus, scan the machine, and you can see everything about it. It's weak against acid and electrical damage, but it's strong against fire and water damage. You see, you can shoot off the laser blaster so it doesn't kill you in one shot. Then you see that its tail can help you upgrade your spear. So you've seen all of this with the focus, and you can really plan and strategize how you're going to attack it. So now you got to make sure you got the right weapons equipped before you start your combat. It's easy enough, straightforward. You scan, see what you need to do, get prepared, go to war. However, as my homie likes to say, if you run up on certain machines, they have little buddies that can hit that little bird call, cuckoo, and bring in reinforcements, those machines might have a complete different set of strengths and weaknesses. And now you got to stop the flow of combat to equip a weapon that will be more useful than what you have equipped currently. So it can be seamless, but sometimes it kind of takes you out of it, and it gets to a point where it's kind of annoying to me. That's just me. So I say that to say that I wish it was more like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart or Red Dead Redemption 2, to where you can just equip almost all your weapons that you want and then use the weapon wheel to kind of just sort through them and pick what you want. And, say for example, it's a bow and arrow, and the one that you have equipped is shooting toxic arrows. Then you have to equip another bow to shoot fire arrows. And, if it's the same level or rarity as far as, being legendary or rare or whatnot, I think it would be easy if, you just had a bow archetype, and then you can just go to your weapon wheel and click R1, L1 and just cycle through whether you want fire arrows or acid arrows or whatever other types of arrows in the game. But again, I don't remember everything about Zero Dawn. It seems like it kind of did have that capability, but hey, I'm still I'm 20 hours in the game and I'm only halfway, and I'm still using some of the same weapons that I had from the beginning. So hell, I could be talking out the side of my neck, and they probably have that capability, and I just haven't got there yet. So don't mind me. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. Aside from the combat, the focus is the main mechanic that you'll use to scan for and tag enemies. You'll scan different objects for clues. You solving puzzles, and then you find out what's climbable. Because not everything is climbable, and you have to do a lot of climbing in this game. So you'll use that focus a lot to see what you can and cannot grab a hold on to. Forbidden West is such a dope game, but there are some flaws to me. Maybe not flaws, but annoyances, put it like that. Sometimes the game physics are a pain in the booty. When I'm climbing up a wall, sometimes it just feels a little janky. Like the character Aloy isn't sure where to go. I'm pressing up, but you kind of got to go to the left and right, and then she's just going left, right, up, down. It gets a little annoying sometimes. And then also there's some things that seem climbable and are not, and that just gets annoying sometimes. Where something is pretty much, or I can jump, be at the edge, be at my shins, but for some reason she just can't grab a hold onto it, even though the ledge is pretty pretty straight. It's not flat around it. So it's like, damn, why can't she just mantle over that? But again, slight annoyance. It's just something that I notice when you play 20 hours of a game. Oh Lord! And then there's been a few visual bugs, and so sometimes you'll get to an area and then not everything loads in, and that's only happened to me a couple times, but it really didn't bother me because the game is just gorgeous. So I can understand sometimes it's a lot to try to load in, even on a PS5. And then there was one section during a big fight with the clans that I had to just stop and reset the game because the cutscene audio wasn't synced. So the dude was talking, but then the words was coming out. You could tell it was delayed. And then once the cutscene passed and the fighting started, and this is in one of these big arenas. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. You had to defend the arena. The frames, it was horrible. It was like 30, 25 frames, 20 frames a second. It looked trash. So I just stopped the game, reset it, and loaded back in, and then everything was cool after that. So those are some of the cons or the biggest things that kind of stood out to me. But for the most part, it's a dope game, man. It really is. So Horizon Forbidden West is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. And even with it being available on PS4, I can't wait for more dedicated PS5 games to come out and really push the hardware to the limit. Because I'm sitting here looking on my monitor and it looks like it just people they scan someone's face and just put it in the game. It's it look, I'm at a loss for words. If you're watching my clips on YouTube, it's not going to do it justice. You got to really see it in real time. But look, this is it's a beautiful game. The water, the the particle effects, the way the creatures move. It's a beautiful game, and I'm sitting there stuttering trying to think of the words to really describe it. But look, cons aside, I'm really loving every minute of this game, and I'm gonna get the platinum trophy just like I did with Zero Dawn because it's just that doggone good. Whenever I do find a time when there's some more downtime later in the year. But with that being said, y'all know I'm gonna give this game my rating is gonna be some fire. It's not no Reggie. It's not no mid. This is that pure high octane premium gas. And if you have a PlayStation, you need to experience this game. So don't wait for a sale. Damn all that. You just buy the game and play it. Only thing you got to do is make sure you got time to set aside to play because it's thick. It's thick, but it's worth it. Not too long of a review. Let's hop into a little bit of news. Capcom, last week they put out a tweet and they updated their website to be some cryptic countdown for 6 days. And then midnight on Sunday, Monday morning, it was announced that Street Fighter 6 is coming out. And it's a big deal because a lot of people play Street Fighter 5 in tournaments. And also that was a PlayStation exclusive. And they haven't really announced whether Street Fighter 6 is going to be platform exclusive or not. They said they'll have more details in the summertime. So that'll be some news to keep up with. And this is a shout out to my boy Billy in my clan for Destiny 2. He saw me tweeting with one of my homies, Scott, about how we don't how phones look so much better out of the case, but we not balling like that to take that risk of dropping our phone and have to replace it or get it repaired all the time. So we just thug it and keep it in the case. And you know, him and myself included were under the impression that depending on the case, wireless chargers is pretty much pointless. Because the last time I tried a wireless chargers, tried a wireless charger, it wouldn't work because my case is too thick. Now this was years ago, so I had that one experience and I just left it at that. But my boy Billy's hopped in. Is like, nah, dog. Hey, man, I work for a company, and I'm a top dog, and we make wireless chargers, and I can send you one, and I guarantee you it's gonna work on your phone case. And sure enough, my boy sent me one, and I put it on. I put my phone on that thing, and the green bar popped up. I said, "I'll be darned." It seems basic, but hey, look, if y'all were on the fence about wireless chargers, go and get you one. And the one that I was so graciously sent is a Moshi. I may be saying that wrong. Correct me. But I have the Auto Q version, and they have a few different types. Now, they have one that you can set up so you can have your phone kind of displaying. You can see what's happening. The one that's laying flat, the Moshi, like I got, it's a typical wireless charger. They got some that's portable, that you can charge it up and then take it on the go with you. So they got a few different types, and it works on my case, and I got a heavy-duty case. So shout out to Billy, shout out to Moshi. Get you a wireless charger if you've been on the fence about that. last little bit of news, PlayStation VR 2, the newest virtual reality headset for PlayStation, has been announced. It looks pretty good. They only have one cable now because the first version had a whole bunch of cables, and now they only have it to one USB-C cable that you have to have. A lot of people have what's the one from Facebook, the Quest, Oculus, whatever it is, um, and it's wireless. But I think what PlayStation is trying to do, the type of graphics that they're trying to push through this virtual reality headset, you're gonna need a cable. So I think that's a decent compromise as opposed to having before four cables to only having one. I think that's a fair trade. And that does it for the news. Memory of the week. So I was playing this game, Horizon Forbidden West, and just amazed at how beautiful it is. And I just started thinking about when I was blown away by graphics in the video game. Um, I I almost seem like I talked about this before, but I don't remember. But I'm gonna talk about it again. But I just remember playing Resident Evil, the first one, on the OG PlayStation at my cousin's house, and getting through the mansion and walking through that dining hall, and you look at the big puddle of blood, and then you go through the hallway, and then you hear some gushy, crunching, munching sounds, and you walk a little further, and then all of a sudden there's a little cutscene, and the little zombie turns his head around slow and looks at you. And man, I wasn't scared, but it was just, I couldn't believe that a video game had looked like that. And back then I was like, oh man, this looks real. When you look at it now, it's pretty trash, but oh man, that's just coming from looking at Mario or Duck Hunt or Sonic, man, seeing that zombie just turn his head and then get up and then everything being 3D, that blew my mind. So it's pretty nice to see how far graphics has come in video games, in this interactive entertainment medium that we enjoy so much. So let me know in the comments, when's the first time that you were really blown away by some graphics in a video game? I like to have that discussion and see where everyone is kind of falling in. I got a good idea where everyone's going to kind of fall in line on based on the age group that I know listens, but I might be surprised. So let me know. And with that, we're done. Another episode in the wraps. We got some a lot of more content coming, man. Destiny 2, The Witch Queen. Oh my Lord. I finished that campaign today. That will be the 23rd. I took a day off of work just to play that thing. Beat it on Legendary. Solo. Dolo. Oh man, it's Bungie is back in their bag, man. They're finally starting to make the content that they want to make and beefing up the studio. And yeah, so I'm gonna have probably some streams, and I'm gonna do a review of Witch Queen after the raid, because I think it wouldn't do the game justice to have a review without the raid, because the raid is one of the biggest parts of this game and this franchise. So another week or so, we're gonna have a review out, and I hope everyone that plays Destiny, even if you kind of put it on the back burner, pick it back up. It's worth it. I promise you. I promise you. And with that, y'all be good. Hold it in the road, as we say in the little country. Shout out to everyone that listens. I appreciate y'all. Frames and flops. We out, baby.
Thank you all for tuning in to Frames and Flops. Bye bye.